Celestial beings, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. My name is Celeste Simone, and here on my channel I offer spiritual guidance to empower my celestial beings and heart-centered energy healing to help you align with your higher self. So if that is something that you might be interested in, please consider hitting that subscribe button and joining our family of celestial beings. I first wanted to just give a shout out to all my new subscribers. I am so grateful and glad that you guys have been enjoying my videos. So that is why I'm bringing you yet another pick a card reading for today, and it is going to be all about the full moon on November 19th. I don't know about you guys, but this full moon, or the energy leading up to this full moon really, has just been really transformative, really reflective energy. I feel like a lot of emotions have been coming up ever since the new moon, and we can expect on top of the full moon a lunar eclipse on November 19th, which is just going to add to the energy, and this is going to be in the sign of Taurus. So although there's a lot of really great abundant energy and grounding energy with Taurus that could lead to some manifestations, there's also some aspects of this full moon that have been bringing in a lot of new truths, questioning our identities, and also releasing a lot of emotional energy. So I feel as though it was important for me to do a pick a card reading for this full moon, especially just because it's important to know how this energy is going to affect you specifically. And also, if you do like to do any full moon rituals, if you are planning any manifestation or setting any intentions for the night of the full moon, I wanted to also pull the card at the end of each one of these readings where we tap into what you can expect, what kind of energy will be best for you to set intentions for on the night of the full moon. I know that some people recommend not doing any type of spell or ritual, or even setting your crystals out during a lunar eclipse or during an eclipse of any kind, just because the energy can be a little wonky. But I feel as though everybody's different, and if you do still intend on doing some kind of spell, it might be helpful to know exactly what is going to be the best type of energy and intention to set for you specifically. So I can't wait to bring you all of these messages. Let's dive into these piles. Pile number 1 is the Celestite stone. Pile number 2 has the Labradoriate. Pile number 3 is a peach moonstone. And lastly, pile number 4 is the clear crystal quartz. Now I'll show you a close-up of each one of these piles, so you can pause the video if you need to meditate on the pile, see which pile or piles most resonate with you. Once you have found your pile or piles, you can head on down into the description box below. But before you do, I just want to mention that these are general readings, so just keep the messages that resonate with you, and you can leave the rest. They're most likely for somebody else who also chose that pile. But because I do believe everything happens for a reason, be sure to watch the pile all the way through to the end, because even if at first the energy doesn't seem like the messages are for you, a lot of times there's multiple messages that will come through for that pile, and most likely you've chosen that pile to receive one of those messages or multiple messages that come through throughout that specific reading. So just hang on to the reading and see it completely if you are drawn to that reading. I cannot wait to dive into these piles. I will see you over at your reading. Hello, all my celestial beings who chose pile number 1. I have your pile right here with the Celestite stone on it. So I'm going to set this stone aside. I'm going to start with all of your tarot cards, and then we're going to dive into some of these other oracle cards as well. But let's first start. I actually chose an extra tarot card for this particular reading. I was just drawn to do that. So let's see what we have. We have 2 of Swords in reverse, Judgment in reverse. We have 6 of Swords, the Empress in reverse. We have the Fool, and then lastly we have the Page of Wands. All right, this group right away, you know, I can really relate to this energy, especially because I feel as though this is some heavy Scorpio energy you might be feeling, but this is all for the best. And really, I feel as though a lot is coming to the surface with this energy. Basically, what I'm seeing is that you've been coming to terms with some truths. Now, this could be past memories coming to light for you, or triggers kind of coming up for you, and feeling as though you might almost feel stuck in these triggers, or even just thought patterns, just feeling anxiety too. I was feeling that energy as well. I posted on my Instagram page, Celeste Simone Tarot, that there's ways you can use crystals. So I posted kind of my way of working through that anxious energy. For me, that came up a lot at night, and I feel as though this may have been the case for you guys as well with the Six of Swords, that this was kind of things keeping you up at night even. I just see that figure sleeping on the swan. Maybe even in your dreams you're having some nightmares during the night. And this is because there were some blockages, some mental blockages keeping you from your full potential with the Judgment energy. So we're seeing a process and a time here where you may have even been struggling financially with the Empress in reverse, or just kind of like waiting on your big break of abundance to come through for you. And because the Empress's presence is here, I do feel as though this is beneath the surface, this is coming for you, but in this exact moment, in this energy, coming, you know, full circle in the full moon and kind of coming to culmination in the full moon, we're seeing that there were some blockages that needed to be worked through, and that this was a heavy lift, you know, and this was actually, I feel as though this was like a slow process that really needed to happen because of you needing to reach your full potential here. There's also a sense of feeling trapped with the Judgment in reverse and the Two of Swords in reverse. Is just feeling trapped, but starting to find a way out with the Six of Swords. Feeling maybe trapped by your own fears or by your own self-doubt, feeling restricted by that. But this energy is actually, and the full moon energy in itself, it's actually helping to pull you out of that in new ways that maybe you didn't even know were possible before. And it's wanting to pull you out of that so that you can start fresh. And that's where we see the Fool energy coming through. It's card number 0 in the tarot. It's a really fresh start. It's kind of like hitting the reset button, opening your eyes to like a new fresh day, a new fresh beginning, and starting to be inspired again, starting to get that creative inspired energy with the Page of Wands, which is strong fire energy, but also a new beginning, because it is a page, it is that youthful, you know, dewy-eyed beginning and energy coming through for you guys. So I really do see with this energy that there's blockages being released. And what I am seeing too is that these are little minor things that are coming up for you. You may also find too that you're having a hard time focusing, you're having a hard time getting things done because maybe you're like chronically late, or it's just like things are kind of crossing your path, and you're working through that, you're trying to get through that, but it's actually making all this other stuff even more difficult. Because with the Empress, I just feel as though you've been feeling disconnected and not grounded as much as you would want to be. But that's all by design energetically, to try and lift you up and to try to get you to focus on some of these things that have been hidden beneath the surface within. So a lot of mental confusion coming back into alignment again is what we're seeing with this full moon. So really the message here that I'm seeing right away is embrace this new beginning, embrace this new perspective of yourself. And kind of just like the Fool is showing, open your arms to it and don't try to struggle with it. I feel like many of you guys are embracing it and kind of walking the path out of this confusion and away from these blockages with the Six of Swords. But this is a slow, you know, this is a slow transition. So just relax, ease into this new transition. And also, because we are seeing with the Empress a need for grounding, you may want to use that crystal recommendation that I have on my page, my Instagram, or, you know, just as a quick tip, have crystals nearby, take a salt bath, really use the energy. Because, you know, for me, sometimes you can't like do the whole process of like going and doing a whole salt bath. You know, if you wake up in the middle of the night and you have like this anxiety, you can't get up, you know, start doing a bath and all that stuff. It's like you just want to go back to sleep in the moment. So I would really recommend picking a crystal. Celestite is great, but it isn't going to be as grounding as some other crystals, such as, you know, you can use tiger's eye, but you can also use a quartz crystal, would be really great. If you are drawn to a celestine or celestite crystal like this one, or even a blue crystal in general, go with it. You know, this is about what you're connecting with, and the crystal that's going to be right for you is the one you should use. But just have it by your bedside, and if you do wake up with any anxiety, or even if maybe you're like out in the world, at work, at school, wherever you are, doing some shopping, and you start to get that panicky feeling, you start to feel really staticky energy coming up that just gives us that anxious feeling, or even sometimes like a panic attack, make sure you have that crystal on you and just practice putting the energy of the anxiety, put that energy into that crystal, ask help from the crystal to really transmute that energy into something a little more positive, into something more higher vibrational. You'll start to feel better instantly. That really works for me a lot. So find that crystal that's going to be a companion crystal for you and bring it around with you. I also do recommend cleansing them often. Some crystals cannot be run underwater, cannot be put underwater, but something like, you know, quartz can. So you could always just rinse the quartz off. It depends on kind of like the hardness of that crystal. So just be sure you check on that beforehand. But you may feel guided to set your crystals out for the full moon. Just know that the energy of this full moon with the lunar eclipse is going to be some really powerful, and sometimes it can be a little chaotic energy. So just be aware of that. If that doesn't resonate with you, if you're feeling chaotic on the night of the full moon, you may not want to put your crystals out under that moon. But there's other ways you can also, you know, put your crystals through some sage, burn some sage and burn it over your crystals, things like that. Or you can put salt on your crystals for grounding and things like that. So just so you're aware, grounding is going to be really great for you guys during this full moon energy. You may even want to make the full moon night if you are planning a ritual, and we will pull a card for that specifically. You may want to plan for that night to just practice grounding and maybe be out in nature, take a walk outside, or again, take a salt bath if you need to. It's kind of something that we have to upkeep a lot, but we just forget to do it. So it can get out of hand when we're seeing this kind of Uranus and Scorpio energy being really prominent right now. So it can kind of catch up with us if we aren't grounded enough. All right, so we have pleasure, and this again, when I'm looking at this card of pleasure with the with this Moon Oracle deck, I am seeing her opening up her heart. I'm seeing her opening up her arms, just like the Fool energy. This is really what is needed on the night of the full moon, is to just accept this healing, to go with it, to open up to the new possibilities, and also a fresh approach. I also see with this energy too, she is opening up her heart chakra specifically. She has herself kind of embracing the light of the moon above and just stepping into a new version of herself. So that's really what I feel with this group. Ooh, we have, and pleasure, extremes, and blossoming. So I really feel as though for this group, there's this energy of having to kind of go through an extreme. And yeah, and even judgment too, with this kind of embracing this kind of like complete freedom and letting go and acceptance. But with extremes, pleasure, blossoming, I feel as though you're really coming into yourself. Even some sexual energy here too is really like powerful for you right now with hot moon and extremes, and you blossoming like a flower, opening up and bringing in this new fiery energy for you as well. You may be a fire sign, but you may have certain planets in your chart, signs in your chart in certain houses that will like bring in and maybe affect your fire signs a little bit more during this time. So really the message here is to take time out of the full moon to welcome in the change, to welcome in this new beginning, because I feel as though you're never going back. That's really what I'm hearing, and not in a bad way, but just that it's like you're transitioning into a new phase, into a new version of yourself that is more confident, that is more open to the unknown, is more trusting, because you're embracing the unknown instead of like fighting it or holding on to certain fears that were holding you back. So you're actually stepping into the unknown with complete trust. And I feel as though there's like no turning back. You know, you're never going to go back to the person who you were, because the changes that this group is feeling during this whole moon phase is powerful and transformative. So we're going to pull another oracle card and get some more messages for my group ones. Let's see, this tends to be a more spiritual deck, so we'll see what's kind of happening spiritually for my group ones and how that relates to what we're currently seeing. But this group is, I do feel, is working at a mental, energetic level, breaking old patterns. And there's a lot of spiritual cards here. So we have Judgment, we have Empress. You know, these are major arcana cards. We have the Fool, and interwoven between those is a lot of intuitive energy and mental processing, thought processing. So what you got as an oracle was the Golden Children, Inner Child, Tenderness, Innocence, Rare Gifts. So this moon, and I think we mentioned a little bit before, could be bringing up old thought patterns, thoughts from your past, self-doubt from your past coming up, and releasing that in order, and also like forgiveness for yourself as well, because I'm seeing with tenderness and innocence, it's taking care of yourself and forgiving yourself in the sense that you're not holding yourself up to these unreasonable expectations or levels of perfection that were maybe put on you as a child. I'm also getting the sense with this group that you may have felt a little different as a child. You may have been feeling a little like you know, you weren't part of the crowd, like you felt like you were an outsider. And this could have been something that you really noticed about yourself. And because of that, you felt like you had to hide that part of yourself that was maybe a little more tuned in spiritually, had maybe some psychic intuitive gifts, even empathic gifts as well. And that you kind of had to shut down or hide those gifts, or hide yourself because you felt like others were judging you, or you may have even gotten some feedback from your family that you were a little weird, a little shy too. Maybe you were kind of withdrawn because you felt like you couldn't fit in and you were an outsider. And those are a lot of signs that a star seed, a light worker, these are kind of things that a lot of them do feel coming in, is that they're outside, and they are outside of the group, you know, they're outside looking in, and they feel a little you know, weird, or like they're the ones that just kind of notice that something's kind of off, that something's weird. You can't settle into the earth energies because you're not used to being on planet Earth. You really feel more at home in the stars. That's what I really feel with Golden Children. I'm also getting the energy of gold. So you may want to, maybe you are drawn to this color particularly, but, or this metal rather, of golden light. I feel as though this has to do with your aura. You may have been told that you have a golden aura, or you may just be drawn to gold. So this may have to do as well with maybe where you came from, and other things having to do with being a starseed as well. So you may want to look into that. But I do feel as though having a golden aura, or being drawn to that color, is a very high vibrational energy. And that's really what I am getting from this group. There's also a childlike innocence about you, and you may just have this ongoing optimism where you don't want to believe that the world is bad, or you just want to, you know, bring the positivity to the world when everybody else is being very pessimistic. And that is so important. I feel like I'm just hearing like, don't stop shining that light. Don't stop bringing that into the situation. People are gonna be, you know, sometimes people who are at a low vibration, if they see somebody who is bringing this positivity and wanting to not ignore that, you know, there's realities of bad things happening in the world, and it's not that you're ignoring that, it's just that you're trying to bring the light to that rather than wallow in that negative energy. And sometimes we can, as empaths, when we're trying to heal the earth and when we're trying to bring that higher vibration, if we come across somebody who has like this negative energy and is very pessimistic and low vibrational, who doesn't want to be lifted out of that, you can actually make some people angry, or they may just be like withdrawn from you and want to get away from you because they're not comfortable with that, or they may just find jealousy in that. You know, they may be just envious of your energy, and they don't want to meet you at that higher level because they're too stuck in their own negative thought patterns. So just be aware of that. I feel as though that you may be sensitive to that, and it could be really hurtful when people act that way, when we're like trying to bring our positivity to the situation. So, okay, this card does want to come through. We have grieving. So this is a time as well and this is kind of where I was seeing these thought processes, is there's a healing energy here. And this is also kind of what I'm getting as what you're going to be releasing on the full moon. So you may want to set this type of an intention, not that you're going to be grieving or in this dark, you know, this lower vibrational energy, but, you know, not to set the intention to be in that energy, but that this is a time where you are needing to take it slow. And I've kind of been feeling that energy as well, as taking this slow, taking as much time as you need, while opening up and letting in a new possibility, a new path to come and open up for you. So I feel because of this grieving energy, and to me, grieving as well as releasing, you know, even if you have to be in this place of grieving a loss, or acknowledging that sadness and acknowledging that you are mourning something, that doesn't mean that you're not open to the new path coming in for you. So this actually confirms a little bit more too, that this is kind of a mental state that you're rising out of and that you're moving through, and it may have been happening or taking place over the course of a long time. Now, I'm also hearing for many of you, this grieving is maybe grieving the fact that you weren't able to have the family that you wish you could have had, or maybe you wish you could have had a better relationship with certain people in your life, and you're grieving that loss. You're grieving for your child self as well, grieving for that part of yourself that didn't receive the love, didn't receive the support that you deserved and that you needed as an innocent child. And that's something that you have been healing as part of this whole moon cycle. And I feel like on the full moon, keep that in mind. You know, it's okay to grieve that. And I think that you're going to reach a place on the full moon where you're like, okay, as I said, you're blossoming. So you're going to say, yeah, I am grieving for that part of myself, for that child part of myself. But from there, I'm going to take that energy. And now that I have allowed myself to grieve, I'm going to take that, and now I'm going to transform my own life for myself and focus on what I want for myself moving forward. Okay, so I do want to pull more cards. We're already getting, this reading is already getting really long, but I feel like a lot of messages have come through for you. So let's pull one more card from this Moonology deck, and then I will finish up with your witch cards so that we can see, so we can really see kind of what is to be expected. Okay. Believe in the impossible. So the energy, and this is a blue moon. So this to me is saying that, and this is the energy of the Fool card, where you're just kind of like opening up to whatever is going to happen and not having any expectations. And that's really, I mean, with this believe in the impossible, I feel like this is almost the intention that is needed to be set in the full moon, because the universe is powerful. The universe can transform your life overnight. It can bring you something that you were not expecting. And all we have to do is we just trust, we just open up to the possibilities, to the endless possibilities that can come in. And you may not, like, what I'm feeling is not even setting a specific intention for this group. I feel as though you are probably going to benefit from really keeping if you are going to manifest or set an intention for the full moon and ask the full moon, maybe even write a letter to the full moon, I would set the intention of just bring me what I need the most. You know, bring me something that is going to really transform my life for the best, and just put your complete trust that the full moon, that the energy of the universe knows what is going to be best for you. And then I feel like it's almost like the impossible can happen for this group. Okay, wow. So we have our final card, all about, you know, for those of you guys who like to either use the full moon energy to cast spells or intentions, this is the energy for you on the full moon, and it says Cosmic Witch. I love this for you guys. I really feel like, again, this is my spiritual group. This is a group of sensitives. And it says astrology, celestial bodies, star seed. That really confirms what we have been talking about. So you guys have the cosmos backing you up. You are connected. So don't forget that. You know, that's really the message, is like, don't forget that, even though you may have been caught up in the past, even though you may have been in that energy, I feel like you are returning back to the pleasure of being alive, returning back. And yeah, you know, extremes are coming up because These extremes are happening to allow you to blossom, allow you to start fresh. You may feel like you're pushing the reset button on the full moon and starting brand new and starting fresh. So group one, thank you so much for joining me for this reading. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and comment down below and let me know if you did enjoy it, if these messages were helpful for you. Lastly, if you would like to see what I do offer, the readings that I offer, the mentorship programs I offer, please don't forget to check that out in the description box below. That's gonna do it for this reading though. I hope to see you back again soon, but bye for now. Hello, all my beautiful celestial beings who chose pile number 2. I have your pile right here with the Labradoriate stone. So we're going to set that aside so we can dive into your tarot cards, and then we're going to dive into a bunch of other oracle decks, including a final card to kind of see what energy on the full moon you can use to benefit you the most for setting intentions, doing a spell, ritual, whatever you may be planning for the full moon. And as a word of caution, it is a lunar eclipse moon, so we're going to keep that in mind because that energy can be pretty chaotic. But let's start with your tarot cards. So we have the 4 of Cups in reverse. We have Ace of Swords in reverse, Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups. Wow, a lot of aces. Okay, then we have the 4 of Swords, another 4, and lastly we have the Page of Cups. Okay, this energy, you know, this is some deep spiritually emotional energy coming through for this group. I also feel as though you may be feeling like your direction, you just are not sure what direction to go into. You are feeling like, and this is what is really needed for you guys, is you're feeling like you want to just rest. You may be feeling like you want to start new projects and the inspiration or the creativity is there, but you're just feeling like you can't focus, like you can't have that direction is really what I'm feeling. And that is by design because there's a lot of emotional energy here that is healing. You may be healing from a past relationship. This could be emotional, you know, romantic relationship energy that's coming up for you. I feel as though too, you are healing some emotional patterns in relationships as well during this whole cycle and process. The 4s are showing that, you know, rest is needed right now to get yourself back on your feet again. But with the 4 of Cups, which this energy just has been coming up a lot during, you know, this time, has been the 4 of Cups in reverse, where we're seeing that we're feeling a bit jaded about our situation. In other words, we're kind of feeling as though we're like tired of it. We're sick of things not going right. And that's because it hasn't always been like that, but it just has felt like it's always been like that because of this energy. We've just been in this bubble of energy, for my group 2s especially, this bubble of energy where it just feels like this is never going to end. We're never going to get our energy back. We're never going to get our focus back. But in fact, with the full moon, we're going to start feeling that again. We're going to start, but the key here is like we need the rest first. So we're going to start getting direction. We're going to start bringing this in again. I do feel as though your intuitive energy is manifesting something. I feel like there's a lot of growth happening, but it just might feel like you're emotionally exhausted. And we see that with the Page of Cups. So just know, and I feel like little things too, like you may just feel like crying every day. Little things might just like spark an emotional trigger where you just like instantly burst into tears and you're like, what the heck? Like, this is just, you know, ridiculous. This is not like me. When is this going to end? I feel like the full moon energy is really going to start to just pick up for us. So especially because it is a full moon in Taurus, it's a bit more grounded and it's a bit more having to do with kind of like getting our feet back on the ground again. But just know with the eclipse happening, I feel like that energy might feel a bit unsteady, you know, moving forward. So for you guys, I feel that the energy is saying rest and take that rest fully. Sometimes when we rest, we don't actually fully rest because we may take a break. We may take things really, really slow, but the whole time we're like feeling guilty. You know, it's like we're vegging out and we're watching a Netflix show or whatever it may be, but we're the whole time our minds are like feeling guilty, or we're getting anxious and we're feeling like we should be doing something the whole time that we're supposed to be resting. And that's why that we don't get that really good full rest with it. So really embrace the rest as much as you can. I know that you still probably, you know, we all still have work to do, we all still have daily things, but if you're saying, okay, I'm just going to postpone this, know that it's okay to postpone certain things right now because your heart's just not fully in it. You may not really do it in the best way possible because our focus is off. That's what I'm seeing with the Ace of Swords in reverse. So sometimes it is better to wait on something. It'll get done. These things always do, you know, even if we have to put them on hold, it'll get done. It's just that, you know, you'll probably get it done more swiftly, more efficiently, and in a better mindset, which means that you'll be putting the best possible energy into it if you wait. I also feel with the Four of Cups, just don't give up hope. Don't feel like this is going to last forever. It's not. Again, the energy is just heavy. Actually, I've been feeling that it's extra heavy right now, and I've been, you know, seeing that others are feeling this as well. Similarly, that it's just a little extra heavy, and we're just kind of like trying to get our momentum back. There's really promising energy here with the Ace of Wands. So what I would also say too is you will benefit right now if you feel like you need to get some kind of creative energy out. Find an outlet that maybe it might not make 100% sense, but find an outlet that like just you feel your energy is drawn to. So for me, I've just been playing piano. That's what I like to do, just singing, playing piano, writing songs, kind of with different songs, different ideas. Maybe you just want to write in your journal or create fun little stories if you do like to write. Or even if that's not your, you know, your jam, maybe it's just taking a hike, doing something physical, getting that fiery energy out in a way that is also healing and not in a way that feels forced. So that's going to be really helpful for you, because once you open that outlet, it's going to release a lot of this kind of like anxious energy of wanting to do something but feeling like you can't. So it's more so of putting a pin in a lot of the different things that you just feel like you can't concentrate and focus on right now. All right, and also again with Four of Cups, it's in reverse. So it is saying that if it's like, I almost feel as though if my group choose, if you guys aren't going with this and allowing this growth to happen as long as it needs to at an emotional level, then you may actually miss some positive opportunities or gifts from the universe that are wanting to kind of come through for you. So that's why I'm letting you know to open up this outlet creatively, or however, you know, you'll know kind of intuitively where your energy wants to go. You know, you may be like, I really have to get this thing done, but all I feel like doing is this. And that's what you should just do during this time, is the thing that just feels right to do. So again, it could be just like doing a coloring book or something. It could be something that seems like useless at the time, but really if you're energetically pulled to just do that thing, then that's gonna be the best thing for you, especially because you'll be wanting to do something that is not going to give you anxiety, is not going to bring you this feeling of anxiousness. Now, I also want to say with this healing, this Ace of Cups energy that is in reverse, I do want to say that you are releasing. So when you do feel emotions coming up, give them the time, give them as much time as is needed to release. So if that means crying, if that means, you know, punching a pillow, if that means just sitting and kind of just giving yourself the chance to like mourn something and really address that emotion, identify those emotions, let them kind of pass through you, allow them to be, don't try to fight them right now. And you'll start to get your energy back, because I think if we kind of block those off from releasing, or if we try to ignore them, now this could be done too by meditating. That'll bring up a lot of emotions, even if you're not even sure where they're coming from, because that's what I've been finding too, is some of this energy that's in our bodies, we're not even sure where it's coming from. It's just like we just feel the emotion because it's been trapped in there and it's just needing to kind of come up and release. So just know that things are getting stirred up right now for you. But let's keep going. We want some tips, we want some advice and suggestions, of course, as well as how to work with this energy. So I'm going to pull some more oracle cards. You already have faith with the worm moon. You know, with this faith energy too, I do feel like there is still something beneath the surface that you are manifesting with the Ace of Wands. I feel as though it's kind of like trust in this time of you know, confusion almost, because even though the Ace of Swords, we have to remember that the Ace of Swords is still present even if it's put on hold. And the Ace of Swords is all about direction, clarity, and focus. So things may seem mysterious right now. Ace of Cups as well, getting this really watery energy, but you're bringing light to these things with the wands, and the wands is that fire energy. You're bringing light to it, but I also feel like you are the beacon. So you're still manifesting certain things. Even if you're feeling like you're not in your zone right now, I feel like this group still is manifesting. Yep. We have confirmation of that with the abundance card. So you are attracting still. Have faith in it. That's really what I'm seeing. Abundance is physical, tangible manifestations. I feel like the full moon is going to be a really great energy for this group for manifesting tangible things. So if you feel aligned with that, you may be able to work with that energy on the full moon. We'll keep going with that. But I do feel like this is kind of a time for you to give yourself a chance to rest, because I almost feel, I'm getting the sense that we have two cards come out for you guys, but I'm getting the sense that you've already kind of put all the intentions out there that are needed, and now it's kind of a waiting period for you guys. And in the meantime, you're being asked to kind of emotionally heal some things. So keep in mind too that emotions are high. So again, you may not want to make any like major decisions. You may not want just during the full moon in general, before and after, for a bit, until you feel a little more clear, you know. And this clarity is coming through. It's just that it's beneath the surface. It hasn't yet shown itself fully, and you'll know, of course, when it shows up for you. All right, we have water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, rest. Keyword for this group. And then we have you got the love, Hadarian energy, codependency, boundaries. So I mentioned before that relationships for this group, you may be healing old relationship patterns, current ones, you may be healing from past relationships. So for you guys, there is some emotional pattern of either self-love or self-awareness that is coming up. So think about your relationships during this time as well. You may want to ask for some further guidance in relationships from the universe to kind of show you these things, because there's almost like a feeling of either you're holding yourself back from fully speaking your truth, from fully setting your boundaries and expressing your emotions, expressing yourself. And that is kind of an energy I'm seeing. You may even feel like your emotions aren't valid, or that you may have been told in the past as well, some of you, that you're too emotional, or you're a drama queen, you're dramatic, something like that. And so you now have come to the point where you're like more restricting of your emotions, or you feel like you're not allowed to express them because of how they may be received. So this is what I'm getting from you got the love, is that giving yourself the love and giving yourself permission to feel these emotions, to express these emotions to others, and not feel like you're going crazy either. Because I think that in relationships, it is important for you to fully be honest with your emotions, what you're actually feeling, and also to feel deserving of support during the difficult emotional times. You may feel like you have to just kind of hold in your emotions and not share them because you have to deal with them on your own, and you don't want to burden others with your emotions. I think this type of pattern is coming up for some of you, or something similar like that, but this may resonate with some of you guys as to what those emotional patterns might be. Okay, especially when I'm seeing codependency and boundaries as well. So keep that in mind as you're healing, as you're breaking these, you know, patterns. We're going to keep going. We're going to see some energy for the night of the full moon as well. What are some intentions? What are some things you can expect with this deck? So let's see. What do we have? What do we have for my group twos? Okay, we have two come out for you guys. We have good luck and beauty. Yes. Again, there's this theme of loving yourself, seeing the beauty in all things. You can only see the beauty externally when you fully align and feel the beauty of yourself within. You know, a lot of the message that's been coming for me a lot too has been this message of like, only you are going to applaud yourself for your accomplishments. You know, nobody else. Everybody's in their own world a lot of times too. Sometimes we're offended by someone not giving us enough, and that's something that, you know, you can express to others, but at the end of the day, you have to love yourself. Find, you know, fulfillment in that at the end of the day. You know, ultimately no one's going to give you that permission to be happy or to be proud of yourself. So be sure you're patting yourself on the back. Be sure you're telling yourself, you're telling your physical form how proud you are, even if it's just getting through the day. You know, being a human being is hard. Living in the physical world is hard. So if you are killing it, if you are just going for it every day, doing your best, you know, trying to, of course, we try to please others, we try to be there for others, but if you're just doing the best that you can, that alone, you know, give yourself a pat on the back. Also, just set intentions, you know, I'm doing the best that I can, or speak, you know, affirmations that align with you. Even if you can't come to the conclusion that, you know, I love myself fully and I don't have any problems with myself, because it's hard to get there. You know, that's part of the spiritual journey, is like seeing ourselves as perfection without having to do anything, basically, you know, like just being okay with ourselves having done nothing throughout the day. Because really, you came into this life as a baby, as an infant, and you were perfect, okay? You didn't even have to do anything. You were loved, you were perfect. So we have to get back to that feeling again. You know, it wasn't until we started getting feedback from others and that judgment being placed on us from others that we started to think, oh, maybe there's something wrong with me that I have to fix, right? So the idea here is find that beauty in yourself, and ultimately we're the only ones that can give that fully to ourselves. We can't find it anywhere else, you know, to be happy right now or to feel love. We do deserve that from others. We do deserve that support from others, but we can only communicate so much, because remember, we're mirroring others, they're mirroring us, and sometimes we don't fully see each other because of that, because we're coming from a perspective. So ultimately, again, we're the only ones who can give that. And I feel as though this full moon is giving you that energy of, you know, find that beauty in yourself. Look in the mirror at yourself and see if you can smile. See if you can tell yourself, I love you just the way you are. You're perfect. You don't have to do anything. Who cares? You know, who cares what anybody else says? You have that comfortable place in yourself. Find even like a comfortable place within yourself that you can sit and just be yourself. And you know what? That doesn't mean that we're not still going to go through challenges, but I feel like that energy for you guys is just where you're headed, or where you're like healing and embracing and finding that self-empowerment. And of course we have good luck too. So again, I feel like you're gonna find some luck on your side. I feel like the full moon is going to be bringing you some kind of good fortune, some gift of some kind that's exciting. So just be aware, again, like this is coming to you. The cards want you to know to keep a lookout for that. And when you do receive it, embrace it, you know, feel that gratitude, enjoy it, and be in that energy of abundance for as long as you possibly can, because that's only going to bring, of course, more abundance, more feelings of alignment, more high vibrational energy to everything else in your life. So you guys really do have a good focus though. You really do have this magic. Okay, as far as like exuding or resonating with what you want, I do feel like you are magical and that you are like a good manifester of things. So don't worry about any emotional energy setting you off track, because I do feel like you are still manifesting. Some of us aren't right now because the energy is just so focused inward and on healing that the tangible, like we're not manifesting tangibly are like any big goals. We're always manifesting. I mean, the law of attraction is always working and always listening, but some of us are more like inwardly manifesting healing. But you guys, there's something tangible coming to you guys. All right, so let's pull another card. All right, we're gonna pull one more. We're gonna pull a Moonology card, and then we're gonna pull one more card for anybody wondering kind of what is the energy of the full moon, maybe what kind of magic you can use to your favor, to your advantage with this full moon energy. First, let's see. Wow, that card flew out. The energy is gaining momentum. Okay, that is complete confirmation. I've been loving, I just got the Moonology deck. I don't know if you guys have that Oracle deck. It's pretty common, but I just found it for myself. I've been finding that these messages in this deck have been really great, but we're seeing the energy is gaining momentum. So this is the Ace of Wands. So rest up now, because you will be finding soon that the momentum picks up for you, that clarity comes in, good luck, good fortune comes to you guys, and you're gonna be kind of picked up and swept up away with it. So again, be sure that you are resting now, because that's why it is needed. You know, we're preparing, my group 2s, you guys are preparing for something, some kind of manifestation that's going to kind of sweep you up. So, all right, let's do one more card to end out this reading. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure before you leave to give this video a big thumbs up. That really helps my channel. Comment down below. Let me know if these messages were helpful to you. And if you do want a personal reading from me, you can find that linked in the description box below, as well as my mentorship program. That's going to be all down below. All right. Lastly, we have Silver Witch. Prophecy, reflection, and moon phases. The moon, the full moon energy is really working on your side. I feel that with the silver energy. So I feel as though this group could really use the full moon Taurus energy to tangibly manifest. But as I mentioned before, your magic is already kind of out there bringing this in. So definitely too, I feel as though prophecy, reflection, this is that emotional moon energy as well coming up for you guys, but you may align with the color silver. You may find that that comes up a lot for you. That's really interesting, because actually group 1 was the color gold and you guys are the color silver. So it came up for you guys in a row. That's just really interesting to me. But really with this moon phases, I feel like you guys can really connect to the full moon energy directly, even work with the full moon goddess to help you bring in this abundance. And okay, so I'm also getting to, with this really heavy moon energy, this group is a very fertile energy as far as getting pregnant goes as well. So because really with the full moon goddess, she is the pregnant goddess, she is the mother energy, and we're also seeing abundance and we're seeing faith, and clearly the picture in faith is you know, a pregnant woman, pregnant with the earth, which also kind of corresponds with fertility or abundance as well, and physical tangible manifestations. But we're also seeing moon phases. So I feel as though the full moon this time might be really great for you guys. This month might be really on your side to get pregnant. I know a lot of you guys are interested in that, but otherwise it has to do with culminating tangible manifestations coming in and healing emotional energy. All right, group 2, thank you so much for joining me for this reading. I really hope that these messages were helpful to you. As I mentioned, don't forget to give a video a thumbs up, comment below, but that's going to do it for this video. And so, oh, and subscribe if you're interested. I would love to have you join the family. That's going to do it for this reading though. I hope to see you back again soon. Have an awesome full moon. I'm wishing you guys the best, sending you so much love and beautiful light energy your way, but bye for now. Hello, all my beautiful celestial beings who chose pile number 3. I have a pile right here with the peach moonstone on it. So I'll set your stone aside so we can dive into the tarot cards. And as I mentioned briefly before, we will be pulling a final oracle card at the end just to see kind of if you are interested in setting intentions, doing a spell, some kind of ritual on the full moon. Let's see kind of what energies will be most beneficial for you, or how this kind of all plays out. You know, eclipses, they're kind of chaotic energies, so just keep that in mind. But we're going to start with tarot cards first. We have 4 of Pentacles in reverse, 2 of Cups in reverse, Queen of Cups. We have the High Priestess in reverse, the 3 of Swords, and we have 7 of Wands. Okay, group 3, I am seeing for many of you, this is some kind of breakup, a romantic breakup, or it could just be something coming between the two of you guys. So this is probably something that you already have been kind of working through on and off. If you already feel like there's like a deal breaker here with your current relationship, you may intuitively be feeling that it's time to move on from this relationship. However, for some of you, you know, relationships do go through fights, okay? So we have Two of Cups, we have Three of Swords. All relationships go through challenges. So this is not necessarily saying that everybody's going to break up with their partner who chose this pile by any means. This just means that between you and, for many of you, this is a romantic partner, but for some of you, this could be a friendship. But either way, we're talking about relationships and also kind of communication between relationships as well. So with the Two of Cups, I am seeing that there could be some disagreement of some kind, and that this could be challenging you to really listen to your inner guidance, to listen to your intuition as well. I feel as though too that this could be brought on by some financial loss or by some kind of financial lack currently. This could be you currently are single, having just broken up recently, having, you know, gone through some kind of disagreement with somebody, and kind of needing to distance yourself from that person. So the energy of this full moon is really showing me that it has kind of caused you to question certain relationships in your life. So if this is not necessarily a romantic relationship, you may be in a very loving marriage or a loving connection, then this is probably not what this energy is talking about. Of course, it's not going to kind of come out of nowhere. You'll know this intuitively because of the Queen of Cups. I mean, she's a very emotionally caring, forgiving, understanding energy. She's also very intuitively guided. So this is something you're going to know, okay? But what I do feel is that you may be sensing certain relationships, certain connections in your life. For many of you, it could be romantically related, but you're going to start to realize certain people just no longer resonate with you, and you're wanting to hold on to these relationships because they're familiar. You know, you're wanting to hang on to these people. It doesn't mean that you have to like text certain people or call them and say like, I never want to see you again. It doesn't mean that. Maybe that is something you have to do for certain circumstances, but it's not something that like the cards are saying you need to just cut people out of your life. What I'm feeling is that there's certain people who are preventing you or just are not aligning with who you are at this level right now. But you are sensitive, you are like, you have compassion, you have understanding for these people, even if and you know, we are seeing some conflicts as well coming up. But even though that happens, you have a tendency to kind of forgive and forget, or just kind of be understanding, because you can understand, you can empathize with these people. So the key message here is that you may find during this full moon phase that you're needing to cut ties with certain people, that you're needing to kind of move past. Now I see with the Seven of Wands, this is an overcoming energy. This is kind of like a power through type energy where you are overcoming and coming out victorious of certain things. So for those of you who are finding yourselves in conflicts with others, this is the idea that some of these relationships that you are able to come to some kind of agreement with are going to help you level up. So it's almost like some of you are needing to do the work, or like to try to overcome and move past it, okay? Because the Three of Swords is in reverse. So what I'm seeing is that if we are able to do the work, and you may find this coming up a lot, is like you are energy or like situations are being brought up for you to face in certain relationships, and you're kind of like being drawn to speak your truth, being drawn to bring these out and not like shy away from these conversations anymore. But if you guys can overcome these together, if the other person meets you halfway, then you may be able to actually grow from this and overcome. And either way, I feel like you're going to be able to get through these types of people falling away. You're going to overcome. You're going to get through this. You're not going to give up. That's just the energy we're seeing with the Seven of Wands. Like, you're going to persevere despite who falls away. And if there are people who leave, they're not meant for you. We have the High Priestess. They're only holding you back from reaching your full potential, okay? And you may find too that some people are just around you because you have such a healing energy, but they're actually not offering you anything. You know, they're around you because they enjoy the energy that you bring and the calming, the healing energy that you bring to the situation, but they're actually not giving anything in return. Now, if this energy is you getting out of a situation, I'm seeing that you're going to be driven to really get out of a situation. You know, for some of you, like, you know what this is. You know that this is some kind of situation that's no longer serving you, that you're trying to get out of. And I am seeing like you conquering this and persevering and leaving that type of situation. Okay, let's grab this Moon Oracle deck. So we are going to pull some more messages. Let's see. What are my messages for group 3 for the full moon? Okay, so first we have nourishment, and we're going to pull another card, just one at a time. But we're already seeing with nourishment that you are going to be getting the love that you need. I do feel that there is and growth. Okay. So we're seeing this growth, we're seeing nourishment. So I feel as though, again, you're going to persevere. And I'm also getting the energy that you're not going to be alone. You're going to get the love. With Queen of Cups, you're going to get that nourishment. You're going to get that support that you need. I feel like that energy is still going to be surrounding you. I do feel like there's this energy too with the full moon of like, you may have to push through this time, but it's going to come around for you, and you're going to receive that, you know, not only growth, but you're going to receive what you have been giving, what you have been putting out there for so long is coming back around for you. There's also this energy of like, you deserve the nourishment and that you have been giving others in your relationships. And because certain relationships are falling away, you're welcoming in new people. Like, you are growing as an individual, and you're welcoming in these new people who are going to give you even more support. Now, if this is somebody you are looking for as a romantic partner, you're bringing in somebody who is also at your level, who's going to nourish you, who's going to take care of you the way that you take care of others and bring that nourishment to others and that nurturing energy to others. Okay, let's keep going with some further messages. We're going to pull from this deck first. All right, we already have one coming out for you guys. It says, your life is a canvas. Artist, manifestation, creative accountability. I'm going to pull one more for you guys too. I feel like there's another energy coming out. Now, I feel as though because there's a reset on certain people coming in and out of your life, what the energy that I'm getting is that you have an opportunity now to bring in the perfect people or person into your life. So sometimes we get so caught up on a relationship and wanting this person to be the person that we need and to fit a certain, you know, role in our lives. Like, somebody who aligns with us in a better way, has the same values, and we're trying so hard to convince the person that we're with to be that way, and it takes so much out of us, especially if that person like is leaning on you or makes it seem like they want to be better or they want to work on things with you, but in reality they just can't. You know, they just can't change those aspects of themselves. There's only so much you can do to like help somebody else get to a better place as well. So the point being is that when you accept that, in certain cases, when you know, this is not for everybody, but for some of you guys, you know, when we accept that person like it's just that person and that's who they are, then we let them go. But we also have the opportunity to bring in somebody who doesn't need to see things from your perspective, or doesn't need you to put all that energy into having them see from your perspective, because they already have those values, they already have the same mindset and the same outlook, and so they're meeting you halfway without you having to, you know, put all that energy into it and exhaust yourself, it's just like easy. Even when a relationship just ends and it's toxic and it's really not healthy for us, it means that you're opening up to this whole new blank canvas that you get to create who and what kind of people, maybe it's friendships, maybe it's romantic relationships, who you get to welcome into your life. So that's really the energy I'm feeling for this group, is this new opportunity to find your tribe and for it to be easy, for these people to fulfill you and lift you up. Okay, so we're gonna go with this card. I definitely wanted to show up. It says surrender to sweetness, Venus energy. Okay, so this is a relationship energy coming in for many of you, and love. We have pleasure, joy, make love to life. So this is beautiful energy coming in with the full moon, and also again a reassurance that you get to paint this beautiful canvas and open up to this new life of love energy and love being reciprocated back for you. And we see that with the Queen of Cups as well, because this is romantic energy for many of you guys. I feel with the Three of Swords too, again, I almost feel as though if the right work and the right effort is done, you and your partner can grow together from this. I also feel that some of you guys as a couple, this energy is coming through too, is that as a couple, some of you guys are facing a challenge together. So it may not necessarily be that there's something coming in between the two of you, because the Three of Swords is in reverse right now. So we're seeing that this is resolving, okay? Something that you guys have been struggling with is resolving. It's just taking an ability between the both of you guys to overcome this together, okay? I also feel like it is important for you to trust in your emotions and not cut yourself off to your intuitive energy. Yes, so some of you guys as a couple may be facing difficult times or hardships, and you are going to overcome these things together. Don't stop what you're doing, keep going is also the energy of the Seven of Wands too. So it's letting you know this is not a time to give up or to back down. It's going to be a time where you really are going to persevere, overcome, and get through this energy, and you will find growth and nourishment on the other side, okay? You may even find that others are kind of stepping in to help you as well. So, okay, surrender to the sweetness. All right. I love that energy, and I also love that that's kind of that's what the full moon is bringing in, is kind of like just having to surrender to the fact that this is what is, and you will get through it, but also opening yourself up and allowing the love to like flow in here. Make love to life. Wow. All right. Let's pull some more cards. We have trust is coming through as the top card that flew out. So this is going to be a time that we just have to trust that on the other side of this, things are going to be better, you know, and also trust in the process, because nourishment, sweetness, I mean, okay, trust, and also career is coming out for some of you guys. So there may be some upturns in career. We notice some lack with the Four of Pentacles, that maybe either you are feeling as though you're unwilling to change maybe in a career position, or feeling as though this is kind of like coming, it could even be coming between you and your relationship. So I feel as though trust in this process, and trust, some of you are going to be gaining a new career opportunity or seeing growth financially as well. So for you know, group 3, the full moon, I feel as though there's this trust, there's this surrendering, okay? I am getting that energy for the full moon, is rather than trying to really hone in on one thing, I feel like in general it's important to just surrender to receiving these new positive, and we're seeing their tree with career as well. Again, there's some career growth here and opportunity, so just hang on and just trust in this process. All right, we're going to pull some more oracle cards from the Moonology deck. Okay, and you guys actually got 2. So let's see what comes through. It says, it's time to take action with a new moon in Aries. And we also have luck is on your side. So wow, this is a really interesting reading for you guys. I did mention that this is not the time to give up. And I think that's why this action card is coming through, because this is a time to persevere and overcome. And I also feel as though with luck is on your side, I think that it may feel as though there's something unresolved here. It could be between two people, and I feel as though you are emotionally in your energy. I do feel as though like you're in your energetic power. And that is why you're being asked to continue rather than to stop. You're being asked to take action. Now, I feel though with surrender to sweetness again is be careful. I almost feel as though the action that is needed to be taken, again, just with this energy of the full moon, like I'm not usually so cautious, but for some reason this full moon energy is just kind of making me feel like let's be a little careful, let's be a little cautious about our actions. I do, and although luck is on this group side, you know, you guys, this is on your side, this energy. I feel as though taking action is almost continuing with what you've been doing and not backing down, I guess is really what I'm feeling. So this isn't maybe a time to kind of start a whole new project per se, but what you are pushing and doing right now is going to result in some good luck with the full moon. So if you know, you guys probably know what that is already, probably know, and this again could be related to career, which is interesting because we also have a lot of relationship energy. So maybe there's coworkers involved in this energy as well. Maybe there's something to do with a boss. Maybe you are meeting somebody at work and there's kind of conflict or stuff coming up there. But I feel like this is going to work out. I feel like this is going to kind of work in your favor. Luck is on your side with this. So persevere and continue to move forward. And I feel as though you're going to find that that things kind of turn in your favor, especially with nourishment again. And this kind of life is a canvas. So take some time to write out if this is something to do with your relationships, or if it's something to do with career specifically. Take some time to really write out kind of what you're focusing on at the other side of this energy, because you want to have a really clear picture of what's on the other side. You don't want to just kind of push and have your head down. You know, you want to kind of see the clear picture, see the bigger picture of what you're moving towards, so that you get there on the other side of things. Okay, and especially you get there on the other side of this full moon. All right, let's finish up with a final oracle card to kind of see what energy, what kind of magical energy is going to be with you on the full moon night. And also the energy just kind of surrounding the full moon, what magic that will bring for you, for my group threes. I do want to mention, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you don't mind taking a second to do that. And comment down below once we are all done here, and just let me know, did this reading resonate with you? Did you find it helpful? I would really appreciate that. And lastly, please take a look at my description box. I do have private readings if that's something that you are interested in. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. But yeah, I really do just appreciate you guys so much, and our family has been growing really quickly in these past few weeks, which I'm just really excited to see. So welcome if you are new. But let's see, what's this final magical energy coming through? Okay. We are getting Hereditary Witch. So this came out as a pile, so I'm just gonna put that back. There's a lot of other cards, but really Hereditary Witch came out first. So we have inheritance, bloodline, and tradition. This to me is speaking of cleansing and clearing hereditary or ancestral curses or blockages, or even just inheritance. So you may have inherited some energy that is being cleared away and fixed for you during this time. This really speaks to of like a soul group that you're working on, and also healing. So you're healing at a very deep level as well for the full moon. But with inheritance, I feel as though your birthright is to receive this abundance. I do also see that you may even receive an inheritance through this full moon energy. So keep that in mind. Also, you are breaking generational curses. You're breaking those kind of boundaries and healing those in your lifetime. So that's really your magic is coming to life in the full moon energy. You may actually also find that this is a family relationship that's been causing some conflict as well. But as I said at the beginning, this could be kind of any kind of relationship. It's just generally the energy is that you are kind of seeing certain relationships reveal themselves to you in new ways, so that you can then choose for yourself what's going to be healthy, start fresh, you know, paint your own canvas of who you want to bring into your life. And also this is with all relationships. So this is with career, coworkers, family, friends. You are going to be attracting more individuals at your level. And certain friendships, maybe they'll fall away just because they no longer align with you. So I do also get the sense with Hereditary Witch that you may have other witches in your family as well, or other psychics or mediums in your family. That's just kind of coming through as well. So you may have inherited certain psychic abilities or magical gifts, you know, psychic gifts, intuitive gifts, especially with the Queen of Cups. This could also be an energy healing type gift that you have. So these are being awakened as well on the full moon, so keep that in mind too. But group 3, thank you so much for joining me for this reading. As I mentioned before, like, comment, subscribe. If you do enjoy my readings, I would appreciate and love that so much. But that's going to do it for this reading. Hope to see you back again soon. Bye for now. Hello, all my beautiful celestial beings who chose pile number 4. I have your pile right here with this beautiful clear quartz crystal that I'm going to set aside so we can dive into your tarot cards. As I mentioned, I will be pulling a card at the end of the reading specifically relating to your magic on the full moon, what magical energies will be working in your favor on that night. So stay tuned for that. But for now, we're going to start off with tarot cards. We have the King of Pentacles in reverse, King of Cups. We have the 10 of Wands, 6 of Cups in reverse, 10 of Swords in reverse, and lastly we have the Lovers. Wow, okay. I am seeing that there are, just right off the bat, whenever I see the Lovers card, this is some really deep connection, really soulful connection with a partner, okay, and a romantic partner, of course. We have 10 of Swords and the 10 of Wands are showing up together. So for you guys, this full moon is really a culmination of getting through a difficult time and actually meeting somebody. Many of you guys are either meeting somebody or deepening a connection, a current connection. I feel like you're going to end up with somebody. I feel like this full moon energy is bringing in a soulmate or twin flame connection. So this is really an exciting reading for you guys. I feel like with the full moon is that it's bringing in a deep soulful connection, but I almost feel like you've had to kind of do a lot of heavy lifting to get to this connection. We see with the King of Pentacles in reverse, I almost feel like you may even have just kind of moved away from one relationship that you weren't sure of, but that you're actually going to find clarity in a new person. So this is for those of you who are maybe recently single or currently single, and you are seeing, you're going to see this new person kind of come in, and it's going to be pretty obvious that this person is the person for you. Now, I'm also getting the sense that for those of you who are currently in a relationship or married or, you know, in a partnership, I feel as though this is how you met this person that you're currently with. I feel like you maybe got out of a relationship that was long-term, that you weren't sure was going to be forever, or you felt like it was going to be forever, but then it wasn't all of a sudden, and you were still kind of questioning that relationship. But then this new person came in and it was like, this is the person, and you realize this whole time, this is kind of like the story I'm seeing, is like you realize this whole time that actually, okay, I wasn't meant to be with that person. I'm really meant to be with this person, and this connection is really, really amazing. I feel like this love story is just coming up during the full moon because you guys are reaching this new level together. If you are in a relationship, you're reaching a new spiritual vibration together. I feel like this other person, if you felt like you've been kind of in a higher vibration than this current relationship, that the other person is coming up to meet you, that you've both been going through a lot during this energy, okay? We have 10 of Wands and 10 of Swords. You both have been going through a lot. Also, 6 of Cups is really giving me this energy of like dealing with past childhood traumas and patterns and emotions coming up for each other, but that you're really coming together and supporting each other through it and like raising each other up through this whole time period. And I feel like you guys are meeting each other energetically. Now, of course, this could be literally meeting each other for the first time. If you are currently single, this full moon is bringing a relationship in. But if you are with a current partner, this person and you guys are really meant to be together. And I feel like, you know, if maybe this doesn't resonate, maybe you're still in this kind of King of Pentacles energy where you're just kind of, they're not committed and, you know, either they're leaving constantly, whatever it is, let that go. You know, always listen to your own intuition, but this is just kind of a message coming through. It's like, you may already feel like you should just let that go, but there's that fear that somebody isn't going to come in who's better. Someone's going to come in who's better. That's really what I'm feeling for this energy for this group. But if you're currently in a relationship, this person is meeting you at your level and you guys together are growing. I just see this, you know, getting through this energy is really going to pay off for both of you guys, and really working on your pasts, your childhood energy. You know, that's what the new moon was bringing. That's what this energy has been bringing. But I feel like the results of this for my group 4s is going to be that the two of you guys are helping each other through this transition. It is a transition. It is a release. It's a questioning of our old identities. And sometimes when that happens, we actually, you know, we move apart, we move away from certain relationships, we lose certain connections. But in this case, you guys are realizing more than ever that your connection is meant to be. So yeah, wow. So let's keep going with some more oracle cards. Okay, 22 for wisdom and self-love. So the Lover's card is not just, you know, it can be interpreted as finding alignment with yourself, okay? And really finding that oneness within yourself. So you're coming into union with all parts of yourself, which is one interpretation of it that I feel is coming through, just because we are seeing self-love. And that's a place where you can meet your twin flame. You know, that's the place where you can meet a deep soulmate connection, whatever's meant for you in this lifetime. You know, that other person who's really going to match you and be an important part of your soul's growth. That's the place where you meet them, is when you're in this oneness with yourself. And that doesn't mean that any other connections have no value, because all connections are helping to lead us to that place. But sometimes you can reach that place with somebody else as well in a relationship. So I do feel this energy for you guys of self-love and coming and aligning with self-love, working on self-love. And that's another thing that I feel like, you know, is a message for this group, is that if you aren't currently in this relationship, that all you need to do is really focus on that self-love. Just focus on yourself. This deeper inner wisdom, I feel, is this wisdom of, again, know thyself. That's really what I feel with this energy of this group, is doing the deep dive and doing that deep work that, you know, past life regression, or even just like childhood, reflecting on ourselves, our childhood selves, the parts of ourselves that were in shadow, bringing those up and carrying that, like you are carrying that burden. You're figuring this out. You're doing the hard work. You're looking within, you're finding that inner wisdom, and you're coming out of it with a deeper sense of self-love and knowing thyself. Wow, this is just such a awesome energy and message that I'm getting. Let's keep going. I feel like you guys are really doing that work, and I just feel like that your partner is as well. So either your current partner is as well, or I feel as though, like, I'm getting strong twin flame vibes, but I'm also feeling as though you are aligning with this other person who's doing that work too, because you're really getting to the root of these things. We have perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. this is a higher perspective for you and somebody else. Somebody else is also going through this at the same time as you. And you guys are gaining this bigger picture, this greater perspective. You're seeing that you have this beautiful connection. Again, it's hard because I'm kind of speaking for somebody in a relationship and also not, you know, not in a relationship. So just keep that in mind. But, you know, someone who's going to be meeting this person. I feel as though zooming out, this is cosmic perspective. This is divine perspective. And we've seen common ground. That's so interesting, is because someone else is having the same perspective as you are. And this is a higher perspective. This is a perspective of deep inner wisdom. All right. I do want to mention too, it is the number 22, which I have to say has been coming up a lot for me. I myself feel really connected to this pile out of all the piles, but I have been connecting to all the piles just because I feel like a lot of us are going through similar energy during this month. I just think, you know, we are having some common ground. I'm just going to pull one more card, but we just had like a pile of them come out for that. But all right, let's see. Pile 4s, they need one more card. I feel like there's another message in here for my pile 4s. What do we need to know? So with 22, you guys, it's been so crazy because when I see this number coming up, I've just been like trusting in it and realizing, like, going back into this place of like trust every time I see it. So the other day we were driving through the city and my GPS started freaking out. It was like changing routes over and over and over again, and I had no idea where to go. I was not, you know, familiar with the area, so I had no idea where to go. And me and my husband were just watching the route just changing like over and over and over again. We had just gone through a tunnel, so I think like it kind of messed up. It got confused as to where we were. So I was trying to figure it out, and of course we're like waiting at a stoplight, luckily, so that we weren't like driving and just having no idea where to go and just getting more and more lost. So we were just kind of stuck there waiting and just being like, okay, like, where do we go? Where do we go? And finally, I looked over and I saw, I think it was a license plate, but I just saw like 2222, you know, like just repeating numbers of 2s. And I said, you know what, like in my head, I was like, I'm not going to worry about this. We're going to get there. It's going to be totally fine. Because at first I thought I had taken the wrong exit because the GPS was like freaking out. I thought maybe I had taken the complete wrong exit, and I was starting to like panic because I was like, oh shoot, like this is going to make us like later or just get us more lost because I did the wrong thing. But I hadn't. I had actually gotten off at the right exit, even though like the GPS got confused. And as soon as I saw the 222, I knew, I was just like, we're exactly where we need to be. Like, I don't need to be anywhere else. Everything's gonna work out and we're exactly where we need to be. And ended up finding the parking garage in like less than a minute. We were there because eventually like the GPS corrected itself shortly after that. After my own energy like calmed down, I was like, I did the right thing. I'm exactly in the right lane I need to be. I'm exactly where we need to be. Everything worked out. So just keep that in mind with the repeating numbers. That could be the message that's coming through, where it's just saying like, don't worry, you're right where you need to be. So you guys got 2 more cards, and we have the Seas of Mintaka, seeing potential, bringing unconscious to light. That is totally true for this energy. Then we also have star bathing, light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation. This, you have been cleansing, you've been clearing, you have this higher perspective now. The wisdom that you have gained from this whole process. Star bathing. This is, oh my gosh, this energy is so beautiful. I don't know why. I just like, I'm getting the chills looking at this card because there's a transmission that you are receiving on the full moon. So I would recommend maybe meditating on the full moon. You probably don't even need to manifest anything on the full moon or set any intentions because you are aligning so deeply with this. But, and I really feel aligned with this too, is like, if you meditate on the full moon, you are going to be downloading and a transmission that's going to further activate you. I do feel like you are a twin flame, you know, like I feel like for many of you guys who chose this now, For me, twin flame energy, I wouldn't get too caught up in it just because I know like it can be confusing at times, and it's probably better just to kind of open up and surrender to kind of whatever spirit wants to bring you. And I feel like the twin flame kind of like label can be confusing, but ultimately to me, it's this partnership and this relationship and this connection that is meant to help you grow and to help you activate. You know, you're activating each other. So that's what's the most important part of that, is really like this spiritual connection that you're having with somebody that is going to really activate you, and it's going to be an important part of your life, really. This is this is really like, I feel like many of you guys are going to resonate with this already, that you kind of already knew you were a twin flame, or that you just have like a deep soul connection. You know, if you don't want to use the twin flame label per se, or even label whatever it is, it's really just this really deep soul connection where you and this other person are raising each other's vibration and growing together. And of course, it always comes through self-love. I mean, that's always the path to a spiritual romantic relationship, you know, a spiritual connection in that sense, when we see the Lover's card. And it isn't without a heavy burden, you know, and really maybe even feeling like you're kind of exhausted at this point. But okay, let's keep going. That is awesome. We're gonna pull more oracle cards. So let's see what other messages for, you know, what else does my group force need to know, need to hear about the full moon energy. So don't sell yourself short. You know, I think there is someone who is going to meet you halfway. It's going to be somebody too who's not like, who doesn't have to, it's somebody who doesn't have to like prove it. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's like spiritual narcissism as well. And I feel like I could get, you know, we get fooled by that. Anybody can get fooled by that easily, because it's like the person who's saying like, oh, what's your sign? Like, oh, we're so cosmically perfectly connected right away. Or, you know, like they're just like love bombing you with all of this like spiritual stuff. And it's kind of like, oh, this person's really interested in it. But it also could be this like spiritual narcissism, you know, where the person's like immediately diving into that, where really if somebody is really, you know, if somebody really embodies this self-love, then they're not going to want to jump to that conclusion, because they're going to want to really get to know you before they start to label the relationship, or before they start to label you. They're going to really want to see you, you know, and for their own protection as well, you know, because they should be wanting to not just rush into anything, because they themselves will want to connect with you at a deeper level. So if there's just this like love bombing of like, oh, our signs are the same and we must be perfect, then just like, you know, question that a little bit, because I do believe that there is like love bombing that maybe a narcissist might do in that sense. Anyway, that's just a message coming through. I don't know if it resonates with anybody else, but we can all fall into that trap, because being spiritual, it's like we want to find people who are accepting of us and like who also have similar interests. And it can be really exciting if we find somebody who has that kind of similar interest. But sometimes, I don't know, I feel like a narcissist can use that as like a way to make it seem like they're spiritual when they're really just kind of like acting that part. But trusting your intuition with that. We have dreams. This is also like a very twin flame energy. Just saying, like, with dreams, I am seeing, oh, okay, I'm freedom. So with dreams, I am seeing this, you know, connection at a dream level. I'm hearing like, I know you, I walked with you once upon a dream. I feel like it can be very dream-like being with this person. I feel like they're also very in a very kind of dream-like state with this. And we're also seeing kind of like with this transmission activation light body, you may even feel surrounding the full moon, like you may have significant dreams. We talked about meditation, but there's this individual kind of laying down. I also feel like you may be receiving transmission and activations during dreams that may give you some further clues as to this connection. Now again, alignment, oneness, that is the Lover's card as well. It's a union. So, and we have self-love. So remember too that this is also a union with yourself. So you're becoming whole again. Oh my gosh. The beauty of this reading, I love it. I hope you guys are enjoying it too. like this video if you are enjoying this reading. Okay, and then we have freedom. So this is the zoom out energy that I'm getting, is like being free, seeing the potential, okay? No longer feeling restricted, no longer feeling like you have to settle. There's freedom here. There's the opportunity of expansion, and there's the opportunity of kind of like bringing the unconscious to light. Yes, you're free from the shadows. You know, you're coming out of the shadows, and you're free, you're awakening. You are no longer restricted by preconceived notions or limiting beliefs. That makes sense. Okay, we're gonna pull one more Moonology card, and then we're going to do a witch card just to see what magic is going to be around you on the full moon. So if you want to take advantage of that magic, you can. But first, let's do a Moonology card. We'll see what message comes out. I've been really loving this deck, actually. They've been really clear. Right, this one's sliding right towards us. Your commitment is being tested. Okay, so again, with relationships, there's some aspects, okay, when I think of commitment, first we think of relationship. There's some aspects of the relationship that may be tested right now. But what I also hear now, when we're walking the spiritual path, we're tested, you know, and I see that with the 10 of Wands, that you have passed many tests, and I feel as though you're coming to this kind of like final test before you receive. And this requires trust. This requires faith and belief to continue forward despite these tests that you have been undergoing. But I do feel like, again, it's all about sticking with the process and maintaining this sense of self-love, not letting the distractions pull you under. You know, you have your focus, you have your belief system, you have your faith, you're in this higher vibration, you are getting tested, and then you come right back to this higher perspective. You continue to go, you continue to open yourself up, allow energies to come to you, allow messages to come to you, accept them, welcome them in, and you're being tested again and again and again. And I feel like your commitment is being tested. This is like your final test almost too. I also feel, yeah, I do feel like this is a final test. We're always growing, we're always maturing, but I feel like some major wisdom is being offered to you. So I do feel like it's kind of like a final test before receiving this activation energy. So this is an ascension for you. Okay, here we go. This is kind of what I was saying. It says confidence is your key to success. So, and this is Leo energy, new moon in Leo for this card. So confidence is everything, but this is the confidence of self-love. This isn't like the confidence where, you know, we're putting on airs or we're like pretending. This is the self-love confidence where you're saying, I have this power. I am connected to the divine. I am a spiritual being living a human experience. This confidence that you're exuding. Okay, this is the test. The commitment is to yourself ultimately, right? Like the commitment is to yourself and to your spiritual journeys. So hopefully this resonates with you. Comment down below if that makes sense. But we're gonna finish up with a final oracle card all about the magic of that day. I like these witch cards because they kind of just give us a general theme, especially if you're interested in like doing a spell. So that's kind of what we're going for with this final card. But I also do want to mention, if you are enjoying my readings, please don't forget to subscribe. I would love that so much. And also, if you're interested in a personal private reading with me, I have a few options that you can look at in the description box below. And I also have a link to some more information about my mentorship program, The Mystic Mindset, if you are interested in that as well. So don't forget to take a look at those before we're finished up here. All right, let's see. Okay, we have Intuitive Witch coming through. So yeah, we're gonna stick with this card. This is the card for you guys. Intuitive Witch, higher self. These cards have been so accurate. I could not even. Intuitive Witch, you guys. Okay, it says Intuitive Witch, higher self, divinity, manifestation. Divinity, you guys. This group, I mean, not to mention this really blue, beautiful color that I just am, these vibes that I'm getting in her blue hair. I love that. There's a full moon behind her. I just love this energy of this card. Listen to your intuition, listen to your higher guidance. Your higher self is speaking to you, you guys. Okay, sorry. I get so excited with these readings. Okay, your higher self is speaking to you. The divinity, oh my gosh, your divine guidance is being activated. Manifestation is inevitable. I really felt that with you guys. It's like, it's almost like you don't even have to set an intention, because like just being in your divine self, sitting with your divine wisdom, you are just manifesting exactly what you need. Okay, I've been talking for so long that my video just cut out. So we're gonna finish this up. But what I was saying is like your divine self is just talking into you every second. This full moon energy is beautiful. Meditate on this full moon energy for sure. You do have some manifestation here, but again, as I said, like I feel as though manifestation is coming from your perfect, your just oneness, alignment. If you are manifesting a new relationship, I feel like that's really great too, but ultimately it's just manifesting self-love, manifesting this confidence. Confidence is your key to success. So the work you have been doing on yourself really is the key here. And yeah, listen to your intuition. It is going to be super potent on the full moon. It's just beautiful. Okay, thank you guys so much, group 4. Thank you for joining me for this reading. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I would appreciate that so much. That's going to do it for this reading though. I hope to see you back again soon. Have an awesome full moon, and bye for now.